Prior to releasing her sophomore album in July of 2021, Billie Eilish has found herself in yet another scandal. This time a TikTok exposed that Billie used racial slurs and mocked the Asian language. In this video I'm gonna get into all this and touch on some of the other scandals that Billie has found herself in recently. I'm Mackenzie, and before we get into it, make sure to subscribe if you're new here. So a recent video leaked of Billie on TikTok, and it's now going viral for all the wrong reasons. The video is a compilation of problematic behavior from Billie. The first is her mouthing along to a song on TikTok, and she appears to mouth the C word, a slur for Asian people. In the next one, Billie is on Instagram Live talking with her brother, and she appears to start talking in a black accent, which her brother Phineas called her out for. Then there's another video that Billie took of herself where she's just straight up saying gibberish with an Asian accent in an effort to mock the language. We don't get any context of these clips or know why they were filmed, but frankly, I'm not too sure it matters. Plenty of fans are now reacting to the disappointing footage and calling for the singer to be cancelled. However, some fans have come to Billie's defense and think the language could just be an involuntary tic due to her Tourette's syndrome. This scandal came just days after Billie's last scandal, where she was accused of queer baiting. This accusation happened after Billie posted some behind the scenes footage from her Lost Cause music video. The caption on that post was, quote, "I love girls." And the video was essentially just Billie frolicking around with her girlfriends while dancing to the song. Many accused Billie of queer baiting, and if you don't know what that is, it's when a celebrity hints that they might be part of the LGBT+ community in order to get recognition from that community when the person knows that they are actually straight. One person commented on the music video saying, quote, "Acting sexual with girls to draw in more audience is gross." Another said, quote, "Funny she's posting this in June. Pride Month. Bessie, you better not be queer baiting." However, some felt the video might be her way of somewhat coming out without actually putting a label on it. And to add on to the growing number of scandals that Billie currently finds herself in, her new boyfriend, 29-year-old Matthew Tyler Vorse, was exposed for tweeting racist and homophobic things in the past, but he recently apologized online. As of now, Billie has not responded to any of the backlash against her for these actions, but I'm hoping that she does address the leaked TikTok videos for the sake of her Asian fans.
Recently, a video resurfaced of singer Billie Eilish using an Asian slur, and needless to say, many were absolutely shocked by it. Eilish has finally spoken up about the video that quickly went viral and said that she was appalled and embarrassed by it. I'm gonna get into all of those details in just a moment, but first, if you could do us a big favor and please tap that like button, we'd really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's begin. Billie Eilish is both apologizing and clarifying a recent video that took off where she can be seen and heard saying an Asian slur. She came under fire last week after a TikTok exposed the star for mouthing the slur as she sang along to Tyler the Creator's song Fish. The edited video then shows Billie speaking gibberish, which many viewed as her mocking an Asian accent. At the time, Billie was about 13 or 14 years old, and in her apology posted to her Instagram stories, the singer went on to say, "I love you guys, and many of you have been asking me to address this, and this is something that I want to address because I'm being labeled something that I am not. There's a video edit going around of me when I was 13 or 14 where I mouthed a word from a song that at the time I didn't know was a derogatory term used against members of the Asian community. I am appalled and embarrassed, and I want to barf that I ever mouthed along to that word, as it was never used around me by anyone in my family. Regardless of my ignorance and age at the time, nothing excuses the fact that it was hurtful, and for that I am sorry." She then goes on to clarify, saying, "The other video in that edited clip is me speaking in a silly gibberish made up voice, something I started doing as a kid and have done my whole life when talking to my pets, friends, and family. It is absolute gibberish and just me goofing around, and is in no way an imitation of anyone or any language, accent, or culture in the slightest. Anyone who knows me has seen me goofing around with voices my whole life. Regardless of how it was interpreted, I did not mean for any of my actions to have caused hurt to others, and it absolutely breaks my heart that it is being labeled now in a way that might cause pain to people hearing it." In closing, she finishes off by saying, "I not only believe in but have always worked hard to use my platform to fight for inclusion, kindness, tolerance, equity, and equality. We all need to continue having conversations, listening, and learning. I hear you and I love you. Thank you for taking the time to read this." Personally, I think that this is just people trying to make something out of nothing. It's good, of course, to hold people accountable, but Billie Eilish really is one of the least problematic celebrities out there right now. This also felt like an odd distraction though from her new boyfriend, who also just had to apologize for posting offensive things to social media in the past. Matthew Vorse came under fire after Billie fans dug up old tweets of his where he allegedly used offensive language and slurs about people of color. In his apology, Matthew said, "I want to apologize for the things that I wrote on social media in the past. The language I used was hurtful and irresponsible, and I understand how offensive those words are. are. Whether it was a lyric, a quote, or just me being dumb, it does not matter. I am ashamed and deeply sorry that I use them in any context. It is not how I was raised and it is not what I stand for. I shouldn't have used this language in the first place and I won't use it again. I am so sorry for the hurt that I have caused. I take full responsibility and continue to hold myself accountable for my actions. Which sounds really similar to Billie's apology, but really, is there any other way to apologize other than to say that you are deeply sorry for what you said in the past? I truly think that this time period will go down in history as the great reckoning of our culture, where even the biggest celebrities in the world are needing to come out with these Instagram apologies. This had to have started with a YouTuber apology video, right? I mean, let me know what you guys think about Billie and her boyfriend's apologies though in those comments down below.
I feel like my favorite cartoon character honestly would be Cindy from the Boondocks. Cause that's like me. That's like...
After a video resurfaced showing Billie Eilish using a racial slur as a teen, many people on the internet were outraged. Now the singer is being slammed again for saying that she identified with a cartoon character from the Boondocks. I'm gonna get into all those details in just a moment, but first, if you could do us a big favor and please tap that like button, we'd really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's begin. Billie Eilish has sparked some more backlash for herself after saying that she identified with Cindy McPherson from the cartoon show called The Boondocks. This character though is said to have been a satire of suburban white girls who appropriate black culture. This recent outrage comes just 3 weeks after she was forced to apologize after using a racial slur. In the clip posted to Twitter, Billie said, "I think my favorite character honestly would be Cindy from the Boondocks." She then went on to say that this character was her if she didn't have good judgment. In this interview from 3 years ago, Eilish praised Cindy's bossy attitude and then mentioned several more times how she loved how much Cindy would stand up for her friends. Although unbeknownst to Billie, this character was meant to portray a white girl from the suburbs that uses a black scent and has a ton of stereotypical black interests, while at the same time is oblivious to racial issues. Because Billie said that she related so much to this character, people then began calling her a culture vulture for admitting that she enjoys people that appropriate black culture. The post quickly started to go viral on Twitter and now has over 2,200 retweets and nearly 4,000 likes at the time of writing this. To me though, it just sounds like people finding something else to complain about. Even Twitter is heavily divided on this Eilish controversy. One person wrote, "The show is literally based off of black stereotypes that black people can laugh at, and Cindy's whole character is pretending to be black, so the fact that she relates to her is a little concerning." Although in response to that, another person said, "If you watch the Boondocks, everyone knows it's satire, and that's what makes it funny, is that it's basically picking fun at those stereotypes and kind of owning them in a sense." The reason though for this first debate, according to those complaining online, is that Billie saying she relates to a character like this is a great example of complete ignorance and a bit of a self-own, with another Billie hater adding, "No, it's actually funny that she feels connected to Cindy because they're the same. Cindy is a white girl from the suburbs with no connection to blackness, but still puts on a black scent for no reason, and that's Billie herself." With people piling on to the "let's call Billie Eilish a racist" train, fans of her came to her defense, with one person saying, "Billie Eilish being a fan of Cindy from Boondocks is not a bad thing. I said it. It's a cartoon television show. I don't think Billie being a fan is her being racist. Finding enjoyment in a show that's not about your own culture and liking the bossy little girl is not a crime. I for one really hate that everything has seemingly become racist. The word used to carry a lot of weight to it, and it was often used in a very effective way at pointing out someone with bigoted opinions that were harmful to society. Although now people are just using it as a word for people that they don't like. It's a cartoon show." On the flip side of things though, that old video of her that resurfaced where she is clearly mocking Asian people is an appropriate time to use the word racist, but when you just use words as a blanket statement for someone you don't like, it begins to lose its meaning, which means that when a real racist shows up, there will be no difference between them and someone like Billie Eilish. That's just my personal take on that, but I would love to hear what you think about all of this. Billie Eilish is getting cancelled on Twitter right now after she partnered up with Adobe to host a new contest. The art competition is getting major backlash, with many pointing out that beyond Billie doing this, why there are real problems with these types of competitions. Back on January 26th in a viral tweet, Billie said, "Billie and Adobe want to see your designs in the hashtag Billie by Adobe Make the Merch contest. Visit this link for a chance to have your unique art featured on a piece of official merch on Billie's tour, hashtag contest." And right away when you click on the replies to this tweet, the top comment lays out perfectly why this is a problem. Tracy King says, "Can Billie please write me a song? I won't be paying for it, but I will retain the rights anyway, and if her song is better than thousands of others who spent their time writing me a song, then I might use it for my own profit." The winner of this contest is going to have their design featured on a t-shirt to be sold for Billie's Happier Than Ever World Tour, with the grand prize winner receiving $10,000, 2 tickets to Eilish's show, and a membership to Adobe, with the first prize winner also receiving $1,000, an Adobe membership, and tickets to a show. The artists on Twitter aren't wrong though to be outraged by this. According to the official rules, Adobe will own the rights to the winner's art, and the artist will not receive any form of payment from the further sale of that design, and can't even claim that they created it. Then on top of that, even if you don't win the competition, whatever design you submitted is still owned by Adobe, and they can use it anytime that they want to. All of that is tucked away in the official rules when you check off that little box that says, do you agree to the terms and conditions? Look, if you're an artist submitting to an art competition, I highly suggest that you read the actual conditions. Another person commenting on the Billie Eilish contest called out the idea of logo and art contests in general. In a tweet they said, "Logo/art contests are a scam. The winner gets a prize, but every single entry belongs to the contest organizer forever. They give out one prize, they have thousands of designs they can make money off of, and they've created a merch line without paying a single artist." Even big fans of Billie were not having this collaboration with Adobe, with many saying that she was exploiting fans and taking advantage of fans and artists by offering exposure instead of money.